Hey, good morning, Internet fans. It's Ryan Perry with Simple Biz Support. Today, Sarah Giametti is off having fun because it is Social Media Wednesday. She's out being social. So we have her business partner at ICT Marketing, Ken Collins. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. We talked last week. I shouldn't say we, because it wasn't you and I, but Sarah and I talked last week about some Twitter ads and how to market on Twitter. We talked about cost. Seems to be kind of in between Facebook and Google Plus. It's not the least expensive, but it's definitely not the most expensive.
Right.
And one of the things that really caught my attention that I thought was really cool was what do they call it? I think it's called leads on Twitter, where you can actually have a one-click opt-in.
Right. Yeah, it's one of the basic campaigns. You can choose from different types of campaigns to run on Twitter. So you can run a campaign to increase your followers, or run a campaign to increase engagement or visibility of a particular tweet, or a suite of tweets, several tweets in the same campaign. Um, there are some other ones you can convert website traffic and that sort of thing. Things starts to get a little more complicated. One of the only slightly more complicated, but still easy enough for a layperson to do is leads on Twitter. Requires just a couple of extra little steps there, but actually can turn into a really powerful thing, especially if you think it through and have all of your follow-up steps ready to go afterwards.
So my understanding is that this is really a lead gen. So this is really, in marketing, we always talk about being laser focused, be very, know exactly what it is that you want to accomplish. In the overall niche of ads, to me, this seems to be a very niche type of ad that you can run.
Uh, yes. So
In the sense that it has a very specific purpose, and that is lead gen, and that's all it does. It doesn't do anything else.
right, it'll have some other benefits. It is a tweet that you're going to use for this thing. So there'll be some exposure and some branding, as always with social media. But yeah, the focus of it is not necessarily for engagement or increasing followers or anything like that. It's really to generate contact information, for the purpose of a lead, gaining a lead.
Okay, very cool. Now you've started creating a campaign. We did a little before we went on air. We kind of searched Twitter. I wanted to actually see one, click on it because last week was the first time I had heard of it. We both kind of looked. We weren't able to find any current ads, so I'm not sure if this is a new campaign that they're offering, but at least in my feed and in your feeds, it's not terribly popular right now. But if you could do me a favor and bring up that screen share of your actual ad that you're creating, so we can actually see what it looks like, and if you can kind of walk us through what your goal and purpose is in creating this ad for ICT marketing.
Sure. So this is a mostly created ad. With any of these campaigns, you'll name it. You'll give it a name. You'll set the dates, or you can have it run continuously. Um, so this is a draft campaign that Sarah and I are actually discussing and haven't decided whether we're going to do, and all that. So I've got it set for October 1st. So it's not live or anything like that. What's happening here is this is pretty much this will send out it will be a tweet. It won't be in my news feed as a tweet that I have sent, but it will be an ad that people will see as a tweet. Um, and this is pretty much what it will look like. So you've got an image that you can upload, and a message that you can customize, and a button that you can work with as well. So creating this ad here is done here. So you can actually create multiple of these to go along with this campaign. Um, in doing so, you're going to create what they call a lead generation card in this portion of it. That's basically an image, a call to and a call to action. So over here, I've just used our logo as the image, and the call to action is click to enter. And those can be saved. You can create different lead generation cards, save them, and then they show up as available in further campaigns. This happens to be the only one that we have now.
All right, and I'm assuming though that when you launch the campaign, you'll probably have the one ad, but you'll want to do some A/B testing. So it would make sense to maybe swap out the image, try a different image, and see if that click-through rate increases or decreases.
Absolutely. With any type of marketing, including advertising, the best thing to do is at least two different options, so that you can A/B test or switch test them. So the more options you have, the better. Within reason, you probably shouldn't 50 on, but 2, 3, 4, 5. Have those, probably 2 to 5. Have those many options, that you can look through and see what's producing better. It's same with Facebook. Facebook allows you to do that with the images that you attach to an advertising campaign. So you can attach multiple images, and it will automatically determine which image is producing the best results and go with that image.
Okay. Now,
so you can.
Go ahead. Oh, you still there, Ken? Love technology, folks. We may have lost Ken temporarily. Oh, there, I heard noises.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's right. The internet's coming back. Hey, the one question I had for you is the fact that when you click on the ad, it doesn't actually take you anywhere. So if we think about doing like a Google ad or a Facebook ad, typically when you click on it, it's going to take you to a landing page. So, if we're doing a pay-per-click ad on Google and I say, hey, I'm giving away a free website, click here, I then have to go and create, or I should, because a lot of people will just push Google ads to just directly to their homepage, which I highly do not recommend. It's the worst thing ever. The smart thing to do is, if you do any type of paid advertising, is to have that ad linked to an actual landing page that specifically talks about the ad, because somebody clicked on it for a reason. So you want to talk about what it is you're talking about in the ad so that people sign up. On this, we're not actually linking people to a landing page. So what happens when somebody clicks on this?
Perfect explanation. So yeah, the classic is to send people to a landing page for the purpose of gaining their information. So the less amount of steps you have in that process of getting their information from them, the more successful you'll be. So basically, what this is giving us is a one-click opt-in option. So people can click on this, they can click to enter, and they've just entered. They don't have to fill anything out. They don't leave Twitter. They don't. It's just they're done. Whatever name and email address are attached to their Twitter account are automatically opted in a sense. So what Twitter will do is they will put that into a downloadable CSV file for you.
Okay, so I think it's really important we go over this again, because it's a completely, at least on my end, it's a completely new concept. So I want to make sure that the people out there that are watching this broadcast realize that when somebody clicks, all they're doing is giving you essentially, I'm going to kind of paraphrase here, the right to market to them. So you don't need a landing page. You're not pushing people to your website, so this is not going to increase the amount of traffic to your website directly. That may be through branding, but what you do want to have then is some sort of email marketing campaign set up in order to follow up with this. And for me, a campaign is that it's a campaign. It's not just an email that says, "Hey Bob, thanks for clicking my Twitter ad. You want a free website or not?" And that's it. You need to actually have a sales letter that goes out that explains what the benefits are, who's your target audience, why people should use your service, and realize that a percentage of those people are going to read the email, but they're too busy, they're not sure, whatever life is happening. Therefore, you need to have follow-up emails. And for me, I like to see, depending on the product, at least anywhere from 5 to 10 emails that go out in a complete campaign before we give up on them. So what are your thoughts on that with this campaign that you're building for yourselves right now?
That is exactly right. So this one is more than immediate gratification in, yes, I increased my followers, or yes, I increased the engagement on my tweets were seen by more people, that sort of thing. It's more than that immediate gratification. It's this is actually going next step, which is what we want. So everything is leading to, from traffic down the funnel to leads, and then finally further down the funnel to sales. So because after all, we're not just doing this as a really fun hobby, it really is a business. So
the other thing I want to point out that I just thought of while you were talking is, for those business owners that are always ROI, 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 this is a really easy ROI, because anytime you're doing any type of marketing campaigns, you always want to segregate your campaigns. So if you're using this lead capture as a campaign, it needs to go into a funnel, and that funnel is going to be whatever your email campaign is. Whatever software you're using, I know you and we use Infusionsoft to manage that. That funnel then can be tracked, and it can be monitored, it can be tweaked, and it can be, you can actually see what comes out at the bottom dollar-wise. And by looking at how much money you're spending on advertising at the top and how much money's coming out of the bottom, it's real easy to justify, or not justify, but stipulate what your ROI is on that campaign at the time.
Absolutely, right. So yeah, you'll need your full suite of this. You should have somewhere on your website that explains what your promotion is. You can use for other purposes. You'll need to have a privacy policy actually to use this. So you'll need to make sure that that's done in the call to action. It will ask you for the short description of your call to action, what you want on the button, basically. So I put click to enter, your link to your privacy policy, and then a fallback page. So basically your fallback page should be your actual promotion, whatever it is that you're getting people to opt in for. Your privacy policy should be just that. You should have an official privacy policy on your website that explains how and why you use people's information, and your call should be as simple as possible.
Sorry, good old Google Voice. Hopefully the ding-dongs will go away shortly. All right, very cool.
That's okay.
We're actually out of time. The other thing I wanted to mention on this that we were talking about before the broadcast is the fact that, and you mentioned earlier, is that the ad actually shows up in the feed, and that there are other, such as I'm looking at my screen right now, on my other screen, my Twitter, I should say, on my other screen, and they have like who to follow. So for people who are trying to build their followers, those are those are ads that show up on my monitor, but they're outside of the feed. And you had mentioned that most people, when it comes to Twitter, are getting their feed through their mobile device or their smartphone. Therefore, any type of ads that you do on Twitter, if you want the broadest, the largest group, I guess, of people to actually see the ad, needs to show up in the feed versus being off to the side, because this over here on your computer screen doesn't show up over here in your mobile device.
Correct. Yeah, the vast majority of people that use Twitter use it on a mobile device. The majority of people that actually use Twitter on a desktop PC actually use it through a dashboard. So they wouldn't see anything outside of the Twitter feed anyway.
All right, perfect. Hey, oh, there he is. He's back. Hey, I just wanted to say we're filling in for Sarah today, and I hope you have a great day, and we will be talking to you later.
Outstanding. Thanks, Ryan. I had a great time.
All right. Take care. Thanks, Ken.
Bye.